Welcome back, and today we're going to be reading the Morning Brew, and it looks like they partnered with a Fundrise, and I have a link for them, a referral link. If you sign up with it, you'll get $50, and they're a great platform to invest in real estate with, right? So, good morning. On this day in 1973, a bank was robbed in Sweden, sparking a 6 day standoff during which many of the hostages at the bank became sympathetic to their captors and hostile towards the authorities. Why are you telling me this story? Because that bank was located in the city of Stockholm, and the episode was the origin of the term Stockholm Syndrome for the rare phenomenon known for some victims developing positive feelings towards an abuser or a captor. Interesting. I mean, I'm not sure why they're starting this because I guess. But anyway, it looks like everything looks red. Everything is just down, you guys. The SPY has been going crazy, so of course we are in a downtrend. And it says right here that S&P posted its worst day in more than 2 months as the summer rally makes way for the throbbing hangover. Analysts are expecting a jittery market this week ahead of Fed Jerome Powell's big speech on inflation at Jackson Hole, WY, on Friday. So be on the lookout. And we have ape trading today. Ape trading. And they got a picture of an ape, which is very interesting. And it says AMC's news preferred share class ape started trading on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning. And while it's certainly a wacky scheme, we shouldn't be surprised if down the line finance professors use it to teach some of the fundamental concepts of Wall Street. Why ape exist? AMC CEO Adam Aron knows he has a rabid fan base of individual traders, apes as they call themselves, that formed during COVID. Not many public companies have followings like sports teams, so Aaron has researched ways to leverage AMC supporters and help the company shore up its finances at the time when movie theater chains are struggling to recover from the pandemic. Cineworld, the British owner of Regal Cinema, said it's considering filing for bankruptcy in the US as it sags under a debt load of $5 billion. AMC debt's pile is even bigger at $5.4 billion. To pay down debt, AMC could raise money by issuing new shares, except it can't. It ran out of shares to issue, and existing shareholders didn't approve selling any more out of their concern the equity would get diluted. Enters APE. How it works. APE is a special dividend for AMC's shareholders that takes form of one preferred equity unit. Think of it like a 2-for-1 stock split. For every common share of AMC you held, you got an equivalent amount of APE, and in the future, you may be able to convert your APE shares to traditional AMC common shares. This similarity to a stock split is why analysts weren't sweating AMC stock's 42 plunge yesterday. When a stock split 2-to-1, its share price is halved, but the underlying value of the company doesn't change. The big picture. APE is AMC's creative solution to running out of common share to issue. After handing out 517 million APE units in the first go-round, it still has an allotment of nearly 4.5 billion to sell. If it does so, then the company could raise more money to pay down its debt or make acquisitions to put it in a better position over the long term. Executing on that plan will perhaps be a long shot, would vindicate Aaron's controversial strategy of leaning into AMC's meme stock status. This is very interesting with AMC, you guys. I actually love the AMC community because they kept the movie theaters open for everybody else. I am old school. I still like going to the movies. I don't go as much, but I still like going, right? And right here's where they're actually promoting Fundrise. If you guys have not signed up for Fundrise, go sign up. And that's a good way to invest in real estate. You just put money into it, and over the long term, it's just going to grow. And it's a way to diversify from like stocks. So I think it's a pretty good thing. So let's see what the world headlines are telling us, right? So Fauci is hanging up the mask. Dr. Anthony Fauci is leaving his post as President Biden's chief medical advisor and the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease in December, ending his 50-plus year run in government service. While many of us know Fauci as a leader of the country's COVID-19 response, the infectious disease expert has combated a range of outbreaks from HIV, AIDS to Zika during his tenure working under 7 presidents. Wow, this guy is retiring, which is good for him, right? Good for him. Ford axes thousands of jobs in its shift to EVs. The automaker said it was cutting 3,000 jobs, mostly in the U.S., because it needed to slash costs for its $50 billion pivot to electric vehicles. Building this future requires changing and reshaping virtually all aspects of the way We have operated for more than a century, CEO Jim Farley and Executive Chairman Bill Ford wrote in a memo. The job cuts are primarily coming to units that produce vehicles using internal combustion engines. And I wonder if now robots are going to be taking the jobs of those 3,000 people. Very sad, you guys. 3,000 people that lost their job. That's terrible. Soccer returns to the Ukraine. Ukraine's Premier League will start up again today, almost months after Russia invaded Ukraine. While it represents a bit of normalcy in the war-torn country, it will be anything but a typical season. Two teams, FC Desna Cherviki and FC Mariupol, were replaced in the league after the stadiums were demolished in the fighting, and no fans will be allowed into games because of the threat of missile strikes. Wow, I don't know. It's so weird, right? You live in the UK, you're at war, and you're trying to return to some normalcy. It's really interesting, but I guess we'll see how it works. Let's see what's going on with labor. Tech companies say collaboration is better off screen. Keep Malcolm Gladwell in your thoughts. Apple employees have launched a petition to push back against the company's rapidly approaching return to office deadline. The petition, signed by 600 plus people as of a Monday evening, is a direct response to an internal memo CEO Tim Cook sent all Apple employees last week, declaring that workers would have to report to the office at least 3 days a week beginning in early September, according to Cook's memo. The hybrid plan will enhance employees' abilities to work flexibility. Some Apple employees think they're plenty limber already, posted by a group of Apple workers known as Apple Together, the same group behind last year's Apple II movement. The petition criticizes Cook's plan for not considering unique job demands or employee diversity. Signatories demand that employees instead be able to work with their immediate managers to develop flexible arrangements. More than 10,000 Apple employees have reportedly joined a company Slack group called Remote Work Advocacy. Zoom out, other major tech companies haven't drawn such hard lines in the sand regarding RTO. Last year, Spotify rolled out a self-explanatory work from anywhere policy. In May, a prominently machine learning scientist left Apple for its rival Alphabet, citing the RTO policy as a primary cause for his departure. And, I mean, if you can work from home, I think that's cool. If I was the boss, I probably wouldn't want my employees working from home. I mean, come on, you guys, let's be honest. You're way more productive in the office than when you're at home. I mean, I have a hard time just doing stuff at work. Like, oh, what is this? Movie Pass is coming back. I remember Movie Pass. Movie Pass was a very interesting thing that was created. It was better than AMC, yeah, because AMC has that AMC Pass where you can watch 3 movies a week for free, right? Under a subscription model. Movie Pass was so amazing because you go to any movie theater. So, the millennial version of the good old days when your Movie Pass account gave you the opportunity to see Clint Eastwood's The Mule 30 times in theater for just $10 may be on its way back. The notorious Flameout subscription service will relaunch in beta form on Labor Day weekend. Beginning this Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, anyone interested in giving this toxic X a second chance can join a waitlist for the coming beta version of MoviePass.com. And lest you were worried, MoviePass promises it's changed for real this time. The service is marked differently from the House Keo days of 2018. Users can choose from 3 tier pricing, $10, $20, or $30 a month. Those tiers will determine the number of monthly credits you receive to put towards the movies. The card will be black instead of red. Since movie passes fall from grace, several theaters have launched their own private movie pass. AMC Stubs, Regal, Unlimited, and the Alamo Season Pass, to name a few. So time will tell if the stumbling cinema market still warrants the existence of a third-party service. And I don't know, you guys, I actually like Movie Pass when it was around because you could go to any movie theater. Right now, I do have the AMC Stubs, and I can only go to AMC movie theaters, right? But, I mean, speaking about AMC, I mean, I'm supporting the apes, right? So, what is this? Grab bag. Let's see what the performance indicators are. So, U.S. home prices have soared to unconsiderable levels in part due to a severe housing shortage. But relief might be on the way. 420,000 new apartments are forecasted to be built in the U.S. this year, according to Rent Cafe. Coming on top of 2021's building boom, it would mark the first time since 1972 that there are more than 400,000 new apartments were completed in each of 2 straight years. The top spot of new apartments in 2022 is in the New York metro area. Without resorting to demagoguery or launching ad. Oh, this is actually good. This is very good for those people who are trying to move out of their parents' house. Hopefully, it's affordable housing, right? Because if it's expensive, it's not going to help anybody except the rich. So it says without resorting to demagoguery or launching ad hominem attacks, there are some behaviors that are no longer acceptable. French Transport Minister Clement Brandt thinks that billionaires should have to wonder why their luggage ended up in Buffalo, just like the rest of us. In an interview with La Parisienne newspaper, Bureau said that the private jet use should be restricted due to its outsized impact on climate change. As in the US, Twitter accounts in France have popped up tracking the aerial joyrides of business mongols such as LVMH founder and Europe's richest person, Bernard Arnault. And this is very interesting, right? So they're like talking about people who basically fly the private jets, right? That's probably so cool. You get to take a private plane wherever you want, you know? How awesome is that? But it is bad for their environment. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you're rich, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I don't see that changing, right? So, we got a Starbucks ad right here, and let's see what else is brewing. 3 Arkansas police officers were suspended after a viral video showed 2 of them violently beating a suspect while he was on the ground, with the other officer pinning the suspect down. State police have launched a probe into the incident. Elon Musk subpoenaed former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey for evidence ahead of a October 17 trial over Musk's attempt to pull out of the Twitter deal. We're still talking about this Twitter deal? That's crazy. I wonder how Twitter's doing. Like, what happened to the stock price after, right? Since it didn't go through. And teachers in Columbus, Ohio, the state's largest school district, voted to go on strike just days ahead of the scheduled start of school on Wednesday. Good for them. Hopefully they get paid more. Pfizer and BioNTech asked FDA to authorize their updated Omicron-specific COVID booster shot. It giving the green light. It could be available this fall. And wow, this newsletter was jam-packed today. As you guys see, tons of news, you guys. So if you like me reading the news for you guys, I like to do this every day. I figure, why not read it out loud, right? I'm not the best reader, but if you want to hear me, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you guys soon.